What's up, everybody? Coming at you live. This is Sunday. What's today's date? October 18th? I think it is. October 18th, 2020. Chilling here at the park with my daughters. Us. 3 of us. Sorry, can't count. This is how stupid you can be and still be a chemist. Just the 3 of us. I got one daughter over there. The other daughter right here. All bundled up. Kind of hard to get a good view of her. But just want to check in with you guys, see how you're doing. We've been here at the park for a little while now, so I thought I'd just hop on and just have a chat with you. Brenda, say hello to the stream. Can you say hi? Say hello. Anyway, somebody typed a message in the chat. Mohammed Sabsavarian says hi. Hello, Mohammed. Very nice to have you here with me. Hello. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing very well. To the other person who's in here, viewer count says there are 2 people. To the other one, who's not Mohammed, thank you very much for joining us. Just thought we'd hang out a little bit, enjoy the natural scenery here at the park. Natural and man-made. There's a lot of man-made playground equipment here, but it's a very nice day. Very nice day. Cool, sunny. Last time I checked the weather, it was like 47 degrees and sunny. It's probably a little warmer than that by now, but very cool. Oh, another message from Ognjen Ristich. Says hi, hello, hello. Very, very nice to see you guys. Of course, if there's anything you guys want to talk about, more than welcome to chime in. Mohammed says, have fun, dude. Yeah, definitely. We are having some fun. This is the first outing in which I've taken both of my daughters to anywhere by myself. So it's trying to just experiment and see how it goes, because in a few days I'm gonna have to go back to work and my wife is gonna have to do this. So just thought I'd sort of do it first and show her, that it can be done. You can do it. If I can do it, she can do it, right? Question is, where am I from? I am originally from Florida, but currently I live in South Carolina. So that's what's going on. Hey, Brenna, look, do you want to play on the swing? You want to go play on the swing? Or do you want to go down the slide? What are you doing? Lately, the little one has been very fascinated with collecting acorns and occasionally rolling them down the slide. So it's kind of her newest little thing here. Collecting acorns. That's what she's doing. And littlest baby Charlotte making her appearance. Kind of hard to see her face in this baby carrier thing, but she's just kind of chilling out. Let's see. Somebody typed in the chat, your daughter is really cute. Thanks. Yeah, I think so too, although I'll admit to a little bit of bias there. Yeah, she's a cutie. Pharmacology is so boring. Oh, I'm sorry you feel that way. Mohammed says, is the weather cloudy? No, it's actually pretty clear. A couple of clouds in the sky, but see, it's pretty clear out here. So, yeah. Anyway. Brenna, what are you doing? Switch the camera here. Don't get your head kicked off by a swinger. What do you want to do? You want to go on the slide? Baby girl, let's go. Come on. Let's go to the slide. Oh, you want to do it. Oh, okay. Mohammed says, I'm in the UK and the weather's fairly cold, to be honest. Yeah, here it gets pretty cold over there, a lot. Never been. Always wanted to go, but I've never been. Oh, looks like our current viewer count is now 3. Hello to the 3rd person. Welcome. Like the other 2, I hope you're doing very well. I need one of those like selfie stick stabilizer things for my camera, because holding it like this at a distance is pretty exhausting for my right arm, I'm not gonna lie. Anjan says it's in Serbia, it's very cold, like 20°C. That is pretty cold. Pretty cold. Yeah, South Carolina, it's not nearly as cold. And where I'm coming from in Florida, much less cold. Florida hardly ever gets even chilly in Florida. Florida's weird though, because occasionally you'll have like the one-off day in like February or something where like yesterday was like 80 degrees, but then, you know, today is like 42 or something, like just crazy like that, and then the next day it'll climb right back up to 80. Hey Brenna. Hi baby girl. Switch my camera real quick. You collecting more acorns? Loves those acorns. Maybe one of these days she'll plant one and it'll turn into a big tree like that one. I don't know. But yep, I just thought I'd hop on here and just chat with you guys. Of course, you know, my last live stream, I specifically devoted it to taking requests. Any topics that you wanted to see discussed on this channel. I got a pretty good list of requests, so I can definitely work off of that. I'm already kind of starting to chip away at a couple of things on that list, but free time's a little bit limited with two little girls, so, and my parents were in town over the weekend, so I didn't really do any like recording or shooting or anything like that. So probably today, when the little girls are napping, I'll maybe bang out another video. The next video I'm going to make is going to be a response to a comment that somebody left me, and it's basically like a double replacement reaction problem, like a precipitation reaction problem, where you predict the products of a double placement reaction, and then you use the solubility rules to determine whether those products are aqueous or solid, which are soluble and insoluble respectively. And from there you write a complete ionic equation, and then from the complete ionic equation you write a net ionic equation. So that's kind of a very general, quick sneak preview of the video. Ooh, let's see if the little one knows her ABCs. Brenna, what's that?
1, 2, 3, go!
That's Q. What's this one? What? That is O. What about this one right here? That's A. Very good. Not bad for a 2-year-old, huh? That's B, as in Brenna, or baby. Do you know your ABCs? We just got a bunch of little placemats for a breakfast place at the table, and I'm a little sad because one of them is not the periodic table, so I'm gonna have to order her periodic table placemat. So, hello. Friendly kid just came up to me. Mohammed says, "Can you tell me some notes about acids and bases?" You know, we could talk about it briefly if you want. So, and you know, I could make a video on it because I haven't really made any acid-base content, and it's such a big part of chemistry. So it's kind of embarrassing that I've been on this platform for 10 years talking about chemistry and I haven't really touched acids and bases all that much. But you have 3 basic definitions of acidity and basicity, right? You have the Arrhenius definition, you have the Bronsted-Lowry definition, and then you have the Lewis definition, right? So if you talk about the Arrhenius definition, right? Under the Arrhenius definition of acids and bases, an acid is defined as any substance that increases the proton content or the H plus content in an aqueous solution. And then a base is defined as any substance that increases the hydroxide ion concentration, which is OH minus, right? I think that's the Arrhenius definition. And then the Bronsted-Lowry definition is a little more loose. Under the Bronsted-Lowry definition of acidity and basicity, an acid is defined as a proton donor, which is similar to the Arrhenius definition, but a base is defined as something that accepts a proton from an acid. So that the Bronsted-Lowry definition basically expands the list of substances that can be considered bases, right? And then you have the Lewis definition, right? And the Lewis definition of acids and bases, a Lewis acid is something that accepts an electron pair. It's also called an electrophile. And then a base is something that donates an electron pair. So I know I ran through that fairly quickly, but I'm kind of digging back to my memory here, my memory banks, trying to figure out. So anytime you talk about acids and bases, you're likely to encounter the topic of pH, right? So, you've probably heard that, the pH scale roughly ranges from 0 to 14, and that, low pHs are considered acidic, and that high pHs are considered basic or alkaline. And 7 is considered a neutral pH, right? And the caveat there is that neutral pH, actually changes with temperature. So that value of 7 for a neutral pH is only valid at 25 degrees Celsius, which is like a standard, sort of temperature that you'll probably see in your chemistry textbook, right? And where that number 7 comes from, right, is imagine you have a sample of water, right? You have a bunch of water molecules floating around. There's a phenomenon that goes on in that sample of water called the autoionization of water, right? In which two water molecules, right, two H2Os, will react to form one hydronium ion, which is H3O plus, and one hydroxide ion, which is OH minus, right? So imagine a chemical equation, which on the left-hand side of that equation, there's two water molecules, two H2Os, right? And then on the right-hand side of that equation, you have H3O plus and OH minus. And you could reassure yourself, if you were to write that out, you would be able to confirm that that equation is balanced, right? So the question is, how rapidly or, to what degree does that autoionization of water occur, right? So if I have a sample of water at any given time, what proportion of that water exists as water molecules? What proportion of that water exists as the water molecules broken up into hydronium and hydroxide ions, right? And the answer to that, it depends on temperature, right? The autoionization of water depends on temperature, but I think in most chemistry textbooks it's shown at 25 degrees, and at 25 degrees, sort of the equilibrium constant. Hopefully, you're familiar with the concept of equilibrium constant, right? It's basically the concentrations, the molar concentrations of the products raised to the power of their stoichiometric coefficients divided by the same for the reactants. The concentrations of the reactants raised to their stoichiometric coefficients, right? And if you calculate the equilibrium constant, right, for that, you'll end up with a value of 1 times 10 to the minus 14, right? So again, basically the equation looks like, what you would do is you would take the concentration of hydronium times the concentration of hydroxide, because that's on the right-hand side of that equation, and you would divide it by, well, just 1, because pure liquids and solids do not get included in an equilibrium constant calculation. That's only for things that are aqueous, things that you can actually have a concentration of, right? So if you take the concentration of hydronium and the concentration of hydroxide and multiply those together, generally at 25 degrees for a sample of water, you'll get a value of 1 times 10 to the minus 14, okay? And so where pH comes from, so pH is a logarithmic scale, right? pH is defined as the negative decimal logarithm, right? The negative base 10 logarithm of the hydronium ion concentration. Okay. So if your equilibrium constant for your autoionization of water is equal to 1 times 10 to the minus 14, then that means those two concentrations multiplied together to give you that, right? So each one of them would be 1 times 10 to the minus 7, right? So at 25 degrees, in general, the concentration of hydronium is 1 times 10 to the minus 7. And so if you take the negative decimal logarithm of that, you get 7. So that's how you get a neutral pH. So I know it's kind of hard to follow with that because I don't have anything written down. I'm not, guiding through it on a whiteboard or anything. But let me type up or read some messages in the chat right here. So answer the question about acids and bases. AR77 says hi. Hello, AR77. Nice to see you. Liga Gaming says, I wanted to ask you something, Ben. Sure, you can ask me anything you want. Akshat Swami says, what current time in your state? Currently it is 11:24 a.m. Sean Preston Singh says, best way to kill time. Love it. Thanks. Yeah, I agree. We're at the park. We're having a good time. The little one is playing, and then the littlest one is just kind of sleeping right here. So, Liga Gaming says, if you have seen the Iron Man movie, do you think it's possible to build an element so powerful as is shown in the arc reactor and not burn human inside the suit because the reactor is so powerful? I've never been a real superhero movie kind of guy, so I haven't seen it. So unfortunately, I can't answer that question. Sorry, dude. AR77 says, how's your Sunday going? It's going well. It's going well. I mean, got my 2 girls here. As I said previously, this is the first family outing, right? The first family outing where it's just me and my daughters. So a little nervous, not having another adult around to sort of help me out if I get, if one of the kids starts freaking out or whatever. So, but it's important to be able to do this. It's especially important for my wife to be able to do it because I'm going back to work in a few days, and she's going to have to be able to, watch the kids by herself. And I would hope that she, well, I know, I'm not going to say I hope, but I know she'll, at some point eventually get to the point where she's ready to sort of take them out. Because we're not like homebody type people. We like to get out. We like to travel. We like to take our daughter to the park. We like to make sure she's getting good exercise and as much social interaction as possible. It's kind of difficult to give her any kind of social interaction when the mall play area was closed, the park where I'm standing right now was closed. All these things were closed, so for a few months there, it was really hard to socially get her involved. But now that things are kind of reopening again, it's pretty cool. So, hey, Brenna, you climbing that slide? Are you going to climb all the way to the tippy top? Are you climbing all the way to the tippy top of that slide? Yeah. Oh, you're going to fall down. Oh, no. I'm going to go back to my face here. Somebody just asked me a question. It's from Sean. It says, are you a prof or are you in industry? I am in industry. I am not a professor. I only have a bachelor's degree. I don't have a PhD. So, in relation to chemistry, yeah. I work for a private company. Professionally, I do research and development on active pharmaceutical ingredients. Brandon, are you going to do it? Are you going to go down that slide? I see you doing it. I don't know. That's a long way down. There she goes. Whee! Oh my goodness. Look at that. That's so funny. Okay. Switch back to front facing. There's another message. Says from Pratham Sharma. Welcome, Mr. Sharma. Thank you for joining us. It says, so I am going to review entire solid states, chemical kinetics, nuclear chemistry, completely starting tomorrow with this week. So any suggestion regarding these chapters? I can give you my general, just study hard, work hard sort of thing. But in terms of those topics, unfortunately, my content, I don't really have much on a lot of those topics. I do have an entire playlist on chemical kinetics, and if you send me a message, I can give you the link to it. A lot of my old stuff. I made some old kinetics videos back in the day. So I'm not sure if you're aware that those videos exist, but they do. I don't have any videos on nuclear chemistry or things like that. Interesting topic though. Especially things like the Manhattan Project and stuff, like the first atomic uranium 238. I think it is what it was. The uranium 238. Can't remember if it was a fusion or a fission bomb, but really, really, really cool stuff. Very interesting. So should probably make a video on it. I think that'd be fun. Brenna, are you gonna go down that slide again? Are you gonna go down that slide? Are you gonna do it? Are you gonna do it? Oh, here she goes. There she goes. Look at your hair standing up because you got static electricity. Okay. So share everything chemistry. Yeah, that's the goal, man. That's the goal, to make a video for everything. Anyway. So Sean says, almost finished with my chem degree. Unfortunately, I have to step back and focus on income, but the goal is to get my BS in chem and ultimately PhD. Thanks for these subs. Oh, cool, man. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad that my content was in any way helpful, and I do thoroughly appreciate your subscription. Speaking of support, if any of you guys are in the mood to send a super chat, I would be very happy to receive it. I haven't gotten a super chat since the very, very first stream in which I enabled super chats. Haven't had a lot of viewers, so it's not super disappointing not to have gotten any more super chats. I think I've been doing super chats. I think this is like the 4th stream, and I've only gotten 2 super chats this whole time. I understand that super chats are not really super necessary on a stream like mine that doesn't have a really fast moving chat, but nonetheless they are a good way to show your support to your favorite creators. So for those of you who don't know, basically what a super chat is it's a message that you attach to a small monetary donation. I think you can do them like as cheap as like 50 cents. I don't know what that currency is in other, what that equates to in other currencies, across the world. But it's a message that you attach to a small monetary donation, and that message gets pinned to the top of the chat box for a duration of time that is proportional to the amount of money donated. So the more money you donate, the longer your chat message stays up. So it's a nice fun little way to kind of see, get your message to the top and for a little while, and also show support to the creator. So if anybody wants to drop one on me, thank you in advance for considering it. Okay, so back to the chat. AR77 says, hey Ben, could you give some insight on nomenclature? Yeah, I suppose I could. There's a lot of different sort of types of nomenclature. There's naming of simple binary ionic compounds. There's naming of simple binary molecular compounds, and then there's organic nomenclature, which is a little bit more advanced, a little bit more involved, because there's just more combinations and possibilities of things. As far as that, I don't know. That's just a very general question, giving insight on nomenclature. I can start with ionic compounds. If you think about an ionic compound, what you have is a metal and a nonmetal, and sometimes your nonmetal is actually a polyatomic ion, or a group of nonmetal atoms covalently bonded together with an overall negative charge, although some polyatomic ions are positive too. But essentially, most of the time with ionic compounds, you have a metal and one or more nonmetals, right? And in your name of the ionic compounds, like let's say you have a formula for an ionic compound, you've identified it as an ionic compound because you've located a metal in it, right? And you're trying to go from that formula to get a name, right? What you do is, your metal is always going to come first in the name before your nonmetal, right? So let's say if I have, something like something simple like LiCl, right? Capital L, lowercase I, capital C, lowercase l, right? There's 2 elements in that. There's lithium and there's chlorine. So the metal would be named first. So it would be lithium something. And then in general, it's going to be the base name of your nonmetal and then the suffix "ide." That's I-D-E, right? So if you have lithium and chlorine, you would have lithium chloride. That would be the name of that ionic compound. It gets a little bit more complicated when, because lithium is like one of those metals that only forms one type of cation. In other words, it's a single charge cation. Lithium only forms a cation with a 1+ charge because it's an alkali metal, and all of those alkali metals like lithium and sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium, they all form cations that have a charge of 1+, right? So there's no ambiguity. So when you say lithium chloride, you know that you're talking about a lithium ion with a 1+ charge. But there's other ions, right? Like let's say iron or lead that can form multiple different types of cations. Like iron, for instance, can form a cation with a 2+ charge. That's called the ferrous ion. Also, iron can form a cation with a 3+ charge, and that's called the ferric ion, right? Ferrous ion +2, ferric ion +3, right? And so in the name of your ionic compound, you want to tip off the reader as to which ion it is when there's more than one possible charge, right? So in the case of iron, what you would do, like let's say if you had iron, let's say if you had FeCl2, right? FeCl2, right? So you know that's like iron chloride, right? Know until you figure it out whether it's iron 2 chloride or if it's iron 3 chloride, right? If it's iron 2 chloride, and the 2 would be within a Roman numeral 2 in parentheses, right? Then iron 2 chloride would indicate that your iron ion has a 2+ charge, and iron 3 chloride would indicate that your iron has a 3+ charge, right? So that's how you do that. And you would figure out which one it is by looking at your anion and figuring out how much total negative charge is coming from your ions, while keeping in mind that the total charge must be 0 for the entire compound. So the total charge coming from your anions has to sort of balance and cancel out the total charge coming from your cations. So that's kind of a crash course approach. And then with simple binary molecular compounds, it's a little bit more straightforward, right? And so to name a simple binary molecular compound, you have your first element, right? You just name your first element, and then you name the base name of your second element plus the suffix "ide," similar to ionic compounds. But in order to tip off the reader as to how many atoms of each element there are in the chemical formula of that binary molecular compound, you use Greek prefixes. And the prefix for 1 is mono, the prefix for 2 is di, the prefix for 3 is tri, for 4 it's tetra, for 5 it's penta, for 6 it's hexa, for 7 it's hepta, 8 octa, 9 nona, 10 deca, 11 undeca, 12 dodeca. So you use those Greek sort of prefixes to denote to the reader how many atoms of each element are in the chemical formula of the simple binary molecular compound, right? So if I had dihydrogen monoxide, right? Dihydrogen means that there's 2 hydrogens, and then monoxide, mono, is the prefix for 1, and so that would be 1 oxygen. So dihydrogen monoxide is actually another way of describing the name of water. Most people call it water, they don't call it dihydrogen monoxide. If you do call it dihydrogen monoxide, people who don't have a very good knowledge of chemistry won't know what you're talking about. So if you tell them, hey, look, I just chugged down an entire bottle of dihydrogen monoxide, they might freak out and want to take you to the hospital. It's a prank that you can do on people, but don't prank anybody unless you know that they have a good sense of humor. When I was teaching high school, I sort of tongue-in-cheek told my students that they could pull pranks like this where they just tell their parents that they just drank a bunch of dihydrogen monoxide. And one kid said that like his mom had him in the car like ready to go to the hospital before he told her that, yeah, it was just a prank and I was just talking about water. Luckily, the parent did have a sense of humor. They didn't come after me and try to get me fired or anything. But anyway, so hopefully that sort of gives you that sort of gives you a loose idea of like names, simple nomenclature for binary ionic compounds and molecular compounds. Hopefully that answers your question. So, okay, just reading some more in the chat. Sean says, I was just hired in the biotech chem field for the first time. Oh, I just lost my chat. For the first paycheck, I'll definitely donate. Gotta support STEM peeps. Oh, great. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thanks. I appreciate that, dude. I really, really, really appreciate that. Thank you, man. Sean says, damn, your videos go back to the beginning. That is awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I've been at this a long time. Brenna, are you okay? What's the matter? Are you having trouble climbing that slide? Is that slide whooping your butt? Come on, baby girl. Oh, static shock. Whoa, let's go. What are you doing? You're getting all rubber bones. You're getting all rubber bones. I help my daughter climb up the slide. She's having a hard time doing it on her own. She's getting close, but not quite. Oh, she's trying to get. Oh, you got it, babe. You got it, baby girl. Whoa. Oh no. You gotta climb up better. You gotta push with your feet. Anyway. Let's see if there are any new messages in the chat. Still helping my daughter with this. She's determined to get to the top. Good questions, though. I like talking about chemistry in this nice, peaceful environment here at the park. Maybe I'll do streams like these more often. You know, what it comes down to is like a lot of these things, like these streams and, you know, different types of videos and stuff like that. I'm just trying to experiment to see what the audience likes, you know, because I don't really get a lot of feedback. I ask for feedback all the time. I ask for comments on every video now. But very few people who watch the video actually comment on it and tell me what's good about it, what's bad about it, what they'd like to see, this and that. So by doing like different streams, you know, do a stream outside, I've done a lot of streams from my car, did a stream at home where I just had a Word document open listing requests, you know, just trying to do a bunch of different stuff, and then, you know, we'll see what sticks. That's kind of the approach that I'm taking, is experiment, right? Scientists, that's what they do, they experiment. So anyway, anybody else has any messages they'd like to send? I would love to read it. Any questions you want to ask, I would love to answer them. Hi, baby girl. Wow, that's a big step. Can you make it? Can you do it? Yay! Good job. You're such a big girl. Yeah. Hey, Brenna, can you say twinkle, twinkle, little star? Twinkle, twinkle. AR77 said, where are you from? Didn't you already ask me that? I think you already asked me that. I'm originally from Florida, but I live in South Carolina now. As of about a year ago, I moved here from Florida. So, yep, that's what I'm doing. Got 8 people in here now. Wow, that's like way above average for my live streams. It's kind of sad, but oh, it dropped back down to 7. Well, there goes my self-esteem. Anyway, yeah, from it's nice to live in a state where there's actually seasons. You know, there's actually cool weather in the wintertime. It's really nice. Harshini Dharma Reddy says, have you recognized me, sir? I'm not sure. Should I have recognized you? Have you been in one of my streams before? I don't know. I'm not very good with names, so if I can't remember you, then I mean, it doesn't really. There's nothing coming up for me. But if I can't remember you, please don't take that the wrong way. I'm just not good with names, so I apologize for not being good with names. I bet if you tell me like the question that you asked me or whatever, like if you bring up the topic that we talked about, if we did talk, then it would probably come back to me. But as it is right now, you know, it's a name that, you know, doesn't really come natural to me as far as learning to pronounce the name, and you have an icon that doesn't have a picture, so it's kind of hard to like remember you with just a difficult to pronounce name and no face. So, but welcome back though, if you did come back. If you have been here before, welcome back. I appreciate you being here. Kaylee, I recognize Kaylee. It says hello, Kaylee. Hope you're doing well. Got my daughters here, both of them. There's Brenna, making a beeline to the swings. Brenna, what are you doing? Ooh, are you... Brenna, are you playing with the Atticus? Look at that. How you doing? Doing well. How are you? Are you gonna climb in that tunnel? What do you do? Ooh, you gonna sit on that bench? But Yep, I got the toddler, and then I've got my littlest one, who's kind of in a little cocoon down here. Kind of hard. There's the top of her head, but I don't want to disturb her too much because I think she's sleeping on my chest right now. But multitasking, holding the baby, watching the toddler, getting some energy out of the park, getting some sunlight, and then pretty soon I'll come home and have some lunch with the wife. Good day today. As always, Kaylee, thank you for your support. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. She says, understandable. The swings are arguably one of the best attractions of any park. Very true. Very true. This park actually has like a zip line type thing that's pretty cool. It's always a big hit. Like a lot of kids are like playing on it. It's not an actual zip line. It's basically just like a steel sort of handle that's like on a track that's really loose and slides around. Oh, little one's on the move again. Brenna, where are you going? Don't get your head kicked off by a swinger. Brenna, where are you going? It's here, 9:15 p.m. Oh, okay. That's cool. Yeah, right here it's like 11 something a.m. So quite a time difference. Brenna, we have to go back and get our stuff before we leave. We have to get our stuff before we leave. We can't just go to the car. We can't just go to the car. Come on. We can't just go to the car. Come on. Wow. I have a stubborn baby girl. Brenna, we have to go get our stuff. Come on. I'm going to try to... Whoop. This is not easy. Pick her up. Oh, there we go. All right. Says she is so cute. I'm gonna change the camera to front facing. There we go. All right. All three of us, me and my girls. We are going to pick up our belongings, and then we will probably head out of here, which means I'll probably be ending the stream soon. Oh, she's trying to put the sunglasses on my head. Wait a minute. Maybe I don't have any belongings. Maybe she was right. Maybe I already picked up everything and put it in my jacket. You know what? I'm looking at the picnic table where we were. There's nothing there. So she was right. We're ready to go to the car. Okay. Oh, my bad, Brenna. All right. Where's my sunglasses? Where'd you put them? Did you drop them? Where are they? I think she just dropped my sunglasses somewhere. Oh, anyway. She is so cute. Yeah, she's a cutie. And it's funny because like the newborn pictures of my 2-year-old Brenna look like almost identical to my 18-day-old Charlotte. So I'll be honest, I was a little bit worried that like, you know, maybe the kids would be like, there's like one pretty one and one that's like, you know, not so pretty, but so far so good. They're both gorgeous. Brenna, don't play in that water. We've got a water fountain here. I'll go ahead and switch cameras. We have a water fountain here that looks like it has a clogged drain. It looks like some knucklehead kids filled it up with dirt. So it's just like a little bird bath now. And kids have been playing in it, and I guess it's attracted my daughter too. Hey Brenna, you ready to go home? You ready to go to the car? You want a PBJ? If you come to the car, you can have a PBJ. That's peanut butter and jelly, for those of you who may not get the reference, because maybe you know, different cultures have different sort of sayings and things. But anyway, come on, Brenna, let's go. Let's go. Go, 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 go. But I'm glad you guys could join me here. This is very nice talking to you guys. I even got a chance to talk about some chemistry stuff too. So that's cool. So, yep, definitely more content on the way. Wasn't able to really get much done over the weekend because my parents were in town. It's kind of rude to like, close myself off in my little studio, like office room, and do videos while everybody else is socializing. So I haven't really gotten much done over the weekend, but my parents just left town, and so back to work I go. I just got a question, like, how is she with the new baby? She, a little confused at first, a little apprehensive, like, ooh, what's that thing? Like, is that going to stay here? Like, or is that just temporary, But now she's starting to sort of warm up. And, if you want, I can throw a couple of photos on the Discord of her doing, like, we had tummy time. I just put a blanket down and just put little baby Charlotte here on her tummy. And Brenda kind of came up to her and laid down and looked at her and smiled and stuff like that. So they're definitely starting to get along. But all right, looks like we're at the car now. I managed to get to the car without showing you guys my license plate, so that's nice. But I think I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Next educational video is going to come very soon, maybe hopefully before the end of the day today, but if not the end of the day today, definitely at some point tomorrow. So that's what's going to happen. The next video is going to be a practice problem where we look at a double replacement precipitation reaction. It's a response to a comment that I got on my recent balancing chemical equations video. So see you next time. Drive safe. Yeah, thanks, Kaylee, and thanks everybody else. Thank you for joining me. If you're not already following me on various social media platforms, I do have an Instagram, I have a Facebook, I have a Twitter, and I have a Discord server. So if you go to my YouTube channel page, that's youtube.com/BensChemVideos. The banner on the top of that page, the bottom corner of it, there are little icons. Those are links to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Discord. So hit me up on those platforms. I'd love to see you there. And thanks again. All right, talk to you soon. Bye. If I can figure out how to do it. I don't know how to end it. Oh, there we go.